I got an icebreaker for you. So we didn't send y'all
Mm.
these questions. Just a couple questions we're going to ask, so the audience can get to know you a little bit. You know what I mean? First question: foot rubs or back rubs?
Mm.
Both of them.
Both of them. Both of
Both?
them. If I had to pick, I would have to pick back rub,
Okay. So
because then you can go lower and it can become a booty rub, and then I like my booty being rubbed.
okay.
What's up, my blessed people? We are back. It's your boy B.Money, aka the producer, and the fellas are back with another one. But we didn't come back by ourselves. We got us some guests for our topic today. We just recently did pillow talk. Hope y'all caught that. And before that, we did intimacy. But today we're gonna do secure. But as I said, we didn't come on because we can't address this topic without having some guests, and you'll see as we get into it. Without further ado, let's see who we got here today. B.Bond, who we got on the show with us?
Man, listen, I started this podcast journey in about 2020, right? It was me and this little skinny dude known as Bryce B, Smoke and Sip Podcast. We was doing big things. We done migrated from that. And since then, I've been watching these two ladies. These two ladies right here, both of them. Cherry Wine, Haydee, baby, please say the baby, the ladies pitch wine time. You can catch them on Instagram. I'm gonna let them give their stuff. But if y'all need a podcast to listen to, a show to watch, you can't go wrong with these two. Miss Freaky Friday over here, Miss Cherry Wine, Miss Yosh. Then we got Miss Haydee over here getting it in the office. And got a whole level of spice. But that's what we got, man. We got two ladies in the podcast game. Jersey and New York is being represented. You know what I mean? Two Pisces, baby. I think you a Pisces too, right, B? You a fish?
Stand up. Shout out.
All right. So without further ado, I'm gonna let the ladies introduce themselves. I'll kick it to Miss Cherry Wine first. State your name, where you're from, and where we can find you.
What's going on, y'all? It's Cherry Wine coming out of Jersey. Find me on Instagram, wine2_time with a Y instead of an I. I drop every Wednesday I'm just getting back to live, so I'll be on live some Thursdays. Don't hold me to it, but that's where you can find me. And I'm always coming with the shit, okay?
All right. Miss Haydee, baby.
What's up? This is a girl, Haydee Baby, one half of the Ladies Pitch Podcast, repping the Bronx, New York. And we drop episodes, myself and my co-host Lexi, we drop episodes every Monday on all streaming platforms. And you can find us on Instagram at Ladies Pitch and on Twitter, Pitch718.
All right. And before I kick it back over to the producer, ladies, I got an icebreaker for you. So we didn't send y'all these questions. Just a couple questions we're going to ask, so the audience can get to know you a little bit. You know what I mean? First question, foot rubs or back rubs?
Both of them.
Both of them. Both of them. If I had to pick, I would have to pick back rub.
Okay. So
Because then you can go lower and it can become a booty rub. And then, you know, I like my booty being rubbed.
okay.
So.
Oh, you
All right.
starting early.
look, I took the shot. You been drinking yet?
No, this is sober me.
Okay, let me turn on my fan. Just got hot, sweating a little bit. All right. Next question. Girls' night out or date night with your man?
I'm single, so girls' night out.
I was gonna say girls' night out. I'm married, so it's what it is. I don't go out much, so I'm picking girls' night out.
Okay.
So,
All right. White toenails or colored toenails?
white.
White.
The natural Viagra.
They say women with white toes got good pussy. So
That's what they said.
That's what they say.
And they're a little bit toxic.
And that was gonna be my next one. Y'all toxic energy. Toxic energy or nice and subtle?
In between.
Yeah, it depends on the mood.
It depends on the mood.
Mhm.
All right.
Depends on how I'm feeling. I could be a little toxic.
With that being said, y'all getting toxic B today. I'm kicking it back over to B.Money. What's up, bro?
Hey man, hey, I'm glad now we everybody nice and loose. We can go ahead and get into it. Hey, but y'all know, as we always do, ladies, again, thank you for coming on. And I'm looking forward to this show based off of some of those answers. I think it's going to be a good one. But as y'all know, it's that time before we get into our actual topic. What would you do? You know, we got to figure out, we got a scenario, situation. We got to hear from the juicer and see what he would do about it. But before I get in that, hey, B.Bond, how you doing, bro?
Man, listen, I'm blessed. I'm highly favored. Y'all heard the singing on Pillow Talk. They said we sound like Drew Hill, B. They said we need to go on tour. You know, and I got to thinking about it. I think the first stop is going to be out in Maryland around your birthday weekend.
All right, man. I'm ready to hit it.
All right.
Hey, Juicer, how you doing, bro?
Hey, man, I'm blessed and highly favored. I'm in sunny LA. The sun beaming on me. Got to hop on a plane tomorrow night, but until then, I'm here recording with y'all. I'm good.
That's what's up. And by the questions that the ladies answered, y'all see they ready and they doing good. So
hold on. We got to check in with the producer, man. How you doing, bro?
Hey, man, always blessed. You know what I'm saying? Anytime I get a chance to hop on and politic with my guys and also have some guests who ready for us to, you know, tackle a good topic, I'm good. So, all right, but without further ado, Ju, you ready?
Find my cup. Y'all excuse me.
You ready, bro? All right. As y'all know, this is What Would Ju Do? In 1 minute and 9 seconds, Julius has the answer. The Juicer
69.
69 has an answer. Our question, our scenario. Let's get to it. So, Ju, within any sexual relationship where sexual activity is expected, what do you do when there is a lack of sex with your partner? How do you handle the said situation? What's your advice for any person going through this situation?
Is this from a viewer? Or is this a generic question? Am I talking to the people, or am I talking to a person or the people?
You talking
to the people, man.
Talk to the people, man.
The people. All right, cool. I'm just making sure, you know, because it's different when it's male men or women or men. But go ahead.
All right, yeah, just talk to the people, man. And hey, I'll give you a countdown. You ready? In 5, 4, 3, 2, get it.
All right. I think one of the key words you said is expected. So that means the rules of engagement. And we just talked about this on a UBN show earlier this week. The rules of engagement are out there, or what the expectations are. So it's set. So that means if it's not happening, someone's already failing. So the first thing that I would do is let that person know that they're not meeting the expectations that we both hopefully agreed to, because it's a consenting situation. So if somebody's not meeting those expectations, if it's a relationship you can get out of, you should get out of it immediately, because that means that you've already set some expectations. They failing. It's just not going to magically change. So chuck them deuces, like my boy Chris Breezy said. Shout out to VA. It's a little bit more committed relationship, maybe fiance, marriage type situation. You're going to have a larger conversation but you gotta decide what can you withstand for something that's supposed to be eternity. And if you can't, same thing, chuck the deuces. Because at that point in time, someone's not meeting your expectations, so they probably never will be. So I think in both situations, you got to chuck the deuces, just depending on the severity of the relationship and the committedness. You have to have a different level of conversation other than just bouncing up front. But that's what Jew would do.
Hey man,
Did he make it? Did he make it? First off, did he make it?
Nah, he
No,
didn't make it.
Damn.
Hey, he went 4 seconds over.
I think you be stopping the time late on purpose. No.
How can I stop the time before the time? I stopped it immediately. You know, my guy. Hey, it was a solid answer.
But while he was talking, Yosh had that face, man. I saw it.
I mean, because he made it sound good.
It sounds so much easier said than done, right?
Yeah, he made it sound real good. It ain't gonna go like that though.
I want to show you, but it's growth though, because this same situation happened when I was in college, right? We all went to school together. And I called my boy up. I was like, hey man, she ain't putting out. It was my girl at the time. I was like, it's been like 2 weeks. This is ridiculous. You know, I done threw some verbal cues out there and rubbed on the feet, you know, did what I had to do. And she ain't putting out. I called him up. I said, Jew, man, I don't even know what to do. He said, man, just jack off right next to her in the bed. That was his advice.
Nah.
That was his.
But you said, now see, I see where you messed up at, because you said it was 2 weeks. You was trying the little foot rub and everything, but you didn't use your verbal communication. You didn't ask what's going on. What's wrong with you that you don't feel sexual right now? That's where you felt that. You just automatically called your boy and he told you to do some dumb shit.
Uh-huh. He said jack off next to her, like, what?
Right next to her. Now you're trying to create another problem.
Now you're looking like a creep. You're gonna go another 2 weeks without it.
Right.
But as a communicator,
the assumption was there. Yeah, the assumption was there that the communication had happened, that those expectations were set. So, you know.
But then also as a communication major, nonverbal communication is the highest form of and most.
Thank you, B. That's what I was gonna say.
So him doing that is letting her. That's
he uses psychology now. Like
that's a level of letting you know I need something.
When you curled your booty up next to me and you felt that thing thump on the back of your back, you knew what was up.
Hey.
You not finna mind fuck me, buddy.
Right. That's exactly what he went for. That's exactly what he went for.
Hey, I'm just saying. So, hey, it's great that you said that, because as you stated, you asked the question, what's going on with her? So that kind of leads us into what we gonna talk about today. The title of this show is called Secure. If you looked at a couple of our shows, we did Insecurities Part 1 and Part 2, where we talked about people being insecure and how it affects relationships. And now in this day and age, I keep hearing people talking about, well, if a woman feels secure or she feels this, she will be that, you know, and a man's giving his point of view. So we're going to dive into it a little bit. We're not trying to hit it at the surface level, because I didn't heard too many, you know, pods, too many shows, too many clips of things where people just at the surface. As you already see, we get into it nitty gritty. So ain't no reason that you can't expect that. So with that being said, man, let's jump into these questions.
Hey, bro. Hey, B, can I interrupt you real quick? Just for the people that's looking for where our fourth fella is. Brother Moses, y'all know he got his trucking company in his business. He been on the move lately. He got to focus on the bread a little bit right now. So he's gonna be back with us in a little bit. But right now, you know, it's that season right now where it's not cold anymore and the money picking up. So he getting after it. But he's gonna be back in a little bit.
Hey, yeah, man, that's boss level status. You know what I'm saying? Hey, sometimes you just prioritizing, and, you know, get that bread. So with that being said, Drew, since you interrupted me, I'm coming to you first with our first question. Hey, is it hard to make a woman feel secure? And if so, why? Or why not?
Yes. I think it's hard to make a woman feel secure because we're talking at the average woman. The average woman doesn't really know what it takes for her to feel secure. We have the book level piece, and that's why you got to get to know your significant other or the person that you're dealing with. And sometimes you got to read between the lines. And I think most strong men are good at reading between the lines, but ultimately a lot of those relationships fail because the woman might change, move the goalposts back, as we say in football. They're making it more complex, more hard. But on the surface level, I think it's very possible. And for someone that's wise and mature enough would say, I see this person's trying. I just got to work on myself. But I would say it's tough to do it up front, but it can be done.
Ms. Sherry, you got a response to that?
Absolutely.
Is there something else I can help with?
I would say that it's hard for a woman that has trust issues and that's been hurt before. Any person that you come into a relationship with, if they didn't heal from their last situation, it's not gonna work out for you. So of course she's gonna be insecure. She's gonna have trust issues and everything because that's where she came from. That's what she's known. So you're gonna have to work double time, double OT to show her and prove yourself to her, or she ain't going to believe nothing that you showing. Don't send your representative. Be you, genuinely, from start, and you'll be all right.
Can I go now?
I agree.
You agree with what Ms. Sherry
I
said?
agree. Yeah, I agree with Cherry. I'm gonna piggyback off of what she said. It's all about healing yourself before entering a relationship. Especially if you're coming out of another relationship where there was a lot of toxicity and you bringing on all that baggage without healing all of that, you're just going to bring on all those old issues into your new situation and your new relationship. And that's going to be very hard for a man to be able to like break down those walls and reassure her and for her to actually trust and believe him. And that's a lot of work, like Yosh said, that you have to do on yourself before you enter a relationship with a man that wants something, wants a real commitment. So
Okay. B, I see you was ready to jump at it, man. Hey, what's on your mind, bro? What you?
So I want to preface what I'm saying is everything is done for entertainment purposes only. You know what I mean? Let me just say that.
He about to say some stupid shit.
Exactly.
Hey, that's that disclaimer, like no disrespect, but
so if the lady, I'm real big on self-reflection and got to look within yourself. If you're not secure within yourself, it's not my job to make you secure. So therefore, I feel like it shouldn't be a hard thing to do if you're already secure, if that makes sense, right? So I like to give analogies. If I'm with Beyonce, might be a little insecure. Beyonce walking next to me, if I know I look like she a 10 and I might be a 7, every time a nigga holler at her, I might be like, you want that nigga, don't you? I'm gonna feel some kind of way. I feel like it's the same thing on the flip side. Let's say your lady don't feel, she feel like she might not measure up to where you at in life or where you going. Every time you step out, you can always find better than me. If that's the stuff you're hitting, then we're having a different conversation. Like, why aren't you secure within yourself before you look for me to have that security? Go ahead, Cherry. Go ahead.
If you secure in your spot and you know this your lady right here, you shouldn't feel insecure about nothing. And no nigga walking past and your antennas going up. This your woman right here on your arm. So you shouldn't feel no type of way. You should, you know what you should be feeling? That's right. Look at my chick. You know what I'm saying? Because she with me. You shouldn't be worried about her walking off with no other nigga.
Well, let me say, that's what I said. Entertainment purposes only. I'm the type of nigga.
I'm entertaining your purposes.
I'm the type of nigga that let my woman walk about 10 feet in front of me so people can look. You feel me? Yeah, and then I come up and take that booty. That's me. But
you made the perfect analogy though, because you said Beyonce and look at Jay-Z. I mean, we could be for real. I mean, I love Jay-Z because I love like the confidence that he exudes. I love his attitude, his demeanor, and all that. But best looking, he's not the best looking man. Beyonce could have got a lot way better good looking man. But he has that confidence that he knows like this is my woman and I have what no other man has and can offer her. So
I'm glad you said that though, Haydee, because as women, we don't always look for looks only. So that's just showing you. Like these niggas, they look for love with their eyes.
Yeah.
They look for love with their eyes.
Don't dumb us down that way.
I mean, y'all care about all of these chicks and what they look like, you know, it's more than what because you could have the baddest chick on your arm, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she don't be shit.
Yeah.
You can't build with her. She don't bring nothing to y'all little fake ass tables y'all be talking about. She damn sure enough ain't going 50-50 with y'all asses. You know what I'm saying? You could get one of the worst chicks ever, but she look good on the outside. And she tainted as a motherfucker on the inside.
So I wasn't gonna jump in.
It was the little table for me.
I kind of only
your little table.
Drew, did you have something you wanted to say? Because you look like you had.
No, I agree with everything they're saying, and that's actually on the show we have being released next week. That was one of the questions: what makes an attractive woman ugly? And my comment was like, I don't care how pretty you are. You can't hold a conversation or help me build or pretty much everything you just echoed. Then I'm good. That's gonna turn me off right away. But I agree, a lot of dudes are driven by the eyes. I mean, that's why God made women in all their beauty. But at the same time, there's more than meets the eye.
So the one thing that I would say is, and I mean, I'm not just saying this as because it's obvious always get thrown at men as like, oh, well, men just look at women, but I kind of push back on where women set a certain standard because of the fact that when we're talking about certain levels of insecurity, if you're saying like, oh, Beyonce is this, I might not have never said nothing about Beyonce. I might not have said nothing about the chick in the gym. You know, I might literally just be like, hey, you beautiful. If I wake up every day and I tell my wife, hey, you beautiful, you know what I'm saying? I was like, hey, I love the way you look and I'm giving her compliments. Just because somebody else walk up on the side of her, there's those things that she naturally feels within herself. And the reason I just say that is that you start, and the point that I'm getting to is when you start pushing that up, like maybe I wasn't looking at that chick's behind in the gym. But if every single time you keep drawing attention to it, then maybe I'll be like, oh, well, shoot. You know, my natural instinct as a man is to look at the physical, you know, what's there physically. That just being straightforward, that's men in general. We naturally look at those things and it can attract us. But I know when I was younger, I'm not gonna lie, yeah, that did draw me. But I say even when I got to about like 22, 23, I was burnt out over the bird brain. So, you know, I was more so intrigued with who can I have a conversation with? Who can I go to that next level with? Who can I build? But if you keep throwing that in my face, my natural instinct is going to kick in after a while. And that's the part where it's like, I could be doing everything to make my woman feel secure. And I echo what you were saying. Both of you ladies make very good points about like the trust issues. And there are things that go deeper than just the surface level stuff. But it does just kind of get to that thing of like, what part are they playing into it too? That I could be doing the right things to make you feel secure, but it go both ways.
That's what
is it really
and
my
I think
job?
that's what Cherry said in the yeah, exactly. But I think it's fair what Cherry said up front.
Definitely.
Is if she's having these issues, you got to work double time. So, you know, going back to the expectations, if you kind of realize up front, you got to work double time, it's like, shoot, you should bounce. It's like, if I'm not trying to do that and I can have a smoother situation, more ideal, going to your point, B.Bond, is it really my job to do that? It's like, hey, baby girl, it's not me, it's you. Go work on yourself. And then, because I can't handle all this right now. And I think that's fair to have that conversation up front.
And Jerry, you definitely said that. And like I say, I appreciate that because a lot of times, that's why I say a lot of things are at that surface level. But with that being said, actually can segue us into our second question. And I'm gonna come straight to you, Miss Haydee. Please say the baby is, what does it take to make a woman feel secure? And taking that in consideration and what's been said, what does it take to make a woman feel secure?
I think what makes a woman feel secure is reassurance, you know, showing up for her when you say you will, doing what you say you will do, keeping your word. All those things makes a woman feel secure and makes her feel comfortable to allow her man to lead in any relationship, you know, because if you're a person that you say, you know, I'm a man and I can do this and I can provide this and I can do this for you or for us, and none of the actions back up what you say, then how am I supposed to trust you in the relationship? You know what I'm saying? That you'll be able to do what you say. That's gonna make me feel like, damn, you know, like, can I really trust him? Can I open up to him? Can I feel secure? Can I feel comfortable? You know what I'm saying? So all of those things would make me feel secure. And once I feel secure, honestly, like once I feel secure in a relationship, like insecurity is not really like a big thing of mine. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not really, and I can say that's actually something I've grown to be, because I was extremely very like insecure and jealous in relationships, very toxic. But now, you know, once I feel secure and once I feel like I know my place in the relationship and I feel comfortable in my place, then we're good and we can build from there.
B, what's your response to what she just said?
I agree with what she said wholeheartedly, which is going back to the first question, why I said what I said. First question, because if you a man and you doing what you're supposed to be doing in that relationship anyway, you know what I'm saying, making your woman feel, just doing the natural things. Oh, damn, babe, you looking good today, without questions being, you know what I'm saying? Wake up, give them a kiss. Do the stuff that swept her off her feet to get her, because that's another problem too. Y'all niggas do all this stuff to get them, and then y'all don't keep doing it to keep them. You know what I'm saying? So once you got her, keep her. That's all I'm saying.
Hold up. I'm gonna dive in. I'm gonna get spicy, B, real quick. So, doing all those things to get them. So, what about when your old lady do things that, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
In a relationship, because that was kind of mentioned at the beginning, like what's off with you, and they stopped doing that.
So now you're gonna get the spicy beat. So that's when you got these situations where niggas have maybe one or two, you know, you have your main and your side, because that side gonna do everything that your main ain't doing.
So
hey, see, they both roll.
And girls are players too. So are women out there doing that if they man ain't holding it up?
Exactly, because that's what I'm saying. As soon as y'all get a nigga that's not doing what y'all want him to do in terms of he ain't bringing anything to his little table, you know, y'all looking for a bigger table too. So let's not do that. Let's not do that. Y'all just it takes y'all a little longer to get to that bigger table. Man, we just
Can I just say that you could have a woman that do everything that you want plus more, and you still will think with the little nigga in your pants. So don't say that your side chick gonna do everything that your man ain't gonna do, because your man could be going above and beyond. And you still
that's just
not
greedy then. That's just being greedy. That's just being greedy. If your woman doing everything,
it's being selfish.
That's what it's being, Haydee. That's
being
exactly
selfish.
what it is.
I agree with
Let's
you. I
use
agree
the
with
correct
you.
word.
So I'm
black men don't cheat.
I'm going to say this, and I'm going to and then I'm going to go to Juicer on something. Is the fact that I do acknowledge that there are a lot of women who are out there and they handling their business. They doing, let's just use the 80-20 rule. They hitting that 80%. And there's men out there who cheat. That happens. But there are a lot of men out there who are still doing that same thing. And I think that's why I'm going to go to Juicer next, is because he said that goalpost keeps moving and they doing those things. And a woman is still saying, I need more. And then they quote what if you was doing this and I felt secure, I will follow you. It's like all this if is that. So again, I agree with you, but I believe now in this day and age, it's the same playing field on both sides. Ju, what is your response to that, what I just said, and also what Cherry had just said?
Nah, I almost agree with everything everybody's been saying. And, you know, we always start a lot of our conversations based off of the people that we're talking to that's educated, has a little wisdom behind us, and can think logically versus what society is, you know, looking at and how society is acting. And I think in a lot of situations, society has the game backed up, and there's a reason why men do the things that they do. And there's a reason why women, based off society, are making some of the excuses because of the fact that society is saying, you know, honor this woman, do this for this woman and all that. But these women aren't looking at it from a logical standpoint. However, that's where, you know, guys, when you kind of realize that you are dealing with someone that you need to up your game on and to console them or make them feel secure the way they need to be felt secure, then you got to do that, especially if that's what you signed up for. And, you know, one of the biggest, you know, stories I like telling is when somebody told me before that, you know, like men are like a 20-piece puzzle box. And, you know, you got the picture on the front of the box and you can put it together after a little work. But, you know, women are like a 100-piece puzzle, but there's no picture on the box. And you just over there don't even know how you're supposed to put this puzzle together, but you just over there working at it. You got the same level of expectation and time to get it together. But I mean, at the end of the day, like I said earlier, like, hey, you got to dip in a relationship if it's not working out that way, and then at the same time, I mean, either nut up or just you shut up.
Hey, go be what you.
And
Hey, first, ladies, do y'all have a response to that?
100-piece puzzle with no
I was
picture to
wondering-
look at.
Why
What
we gotta
type of
have
women are you dating?
Yeah,
Y'all
you don't even
complex.
know how to
That's
put
what
it
he said.
together because there's
Some of us are actually
complexity at
very
its most.
simple. You guys make it a lot harder than what it is. Like a lot of women really are simple. It's just it also has to do with a lot of the women that men pick. You
Yeah.
complain about these women and all these women with all these high standards and expectations and who's going to meet that and this and that. But it seems to be like those are always the type of women that you choose to be with. The women that are simple, you know, the women that really just want the little things, that the little things matter. Like those usually are not the type of women that men will go for.
Because y'all start off wanting the little things, and then when we're doing the little things, y'all want bigger things. And then you want to say we lick it with the little man in our pants. Not all men are like that. You know what I mean? Because just based off of the what would you do? What would you do situation? This man probably ain't been getting none for 2, 3, 4 weeks. And he's still trying to figure out what do I need to do?
But he's not using his words.
All he's doing is poking her and shit. Like
he just trying to figure out where the pictures go.
I mean, I'm just saying, I saw it on Twitter. Dude had a whole spreadsheet of every time he was denied.
I saw that.
That's where it came from.
I saw that.
Yeah.
He started documenting like every time his wife told him no and her excuse.
What was her excuses?
Her excuses were so stupid, Yosh. Like, oh, I'm full. I just ate. Like, bitch.
She had some other meat and he ate for her.
Yeah. I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna send it to you because it's so silly. I'm like, what woman is this?
The nastiest one was, I just got back from the gym. I need to take a shower.
Yes.
And she didn't shower till the next morning. So that means she laid in the bed with the gym funk.
Yes.
Oh, you don't want to sleep with my guy.
I want to say like in a 90-day period, he only got it like 3 times.
It was only like 3 times, yeah.
And that was a pity fuck.
Right.
That's bad business.
Her other man was on vacation.
That's what happened, Haydee. She had a taste of something else, and she was like, "Oh, this nigga ain't it."
But meanwhile, B.Bond said, when you got your man on your side, right?
Oh God!
Thanks for proving my point, ladies.
So we know it exists. Hey, but Haydee, I do want to point out, you said like most women are simple, and if you do those textbook things to make them secure, then you're good. And most men just don't do that because they expect that they shouldn't have to do all that, that the woman should be happy to be with them. However, circling back to the beginning when Cherry mentioned there's a lot of people coming from damaged situations. And the older you get, people are more damaged and got their own bags. And when they don't identify that, most men in their 30s are dealing with damaged women. That's the same way women are dealing with damaged men. And so it's just kind of one of those things. That's just the playing field we're on right now. So I think it stays complex. And most people aren't identifying that they got their own shit going on. So it just makes it hard for the people out here.
So one of the questions that one of the things I want to get on real quick is my challenge that I've seen, and I say not my challenge specifically, but the challenge thing that always bothers me, and the reason why, let me clarify that, but in which this topic came up in my head was like, all right, this really has to like be addressed, is if I make you, and I say make you, but if I, lead you as a man and I'm doing my thing and a man is leading a woman and he's showing her like, hey, you maybe do have these trust issues that you're not acknowledging. And maybe he's sitting down and getting ready to have that, conversation, like the woman who gets aggressive back with him. And then at the end of the day is like, you're still supposed to handle her like with, that gentleness. But at the end of the day, you still a man. And maybe 1 or 2 times that's one way, you can do that. But typically that's something that's always associated with like men being angry or aggressive. So when you get that woman who's displaying what's I want to call a masculine trait, ladies, is it okay? Is it help? Can a man make a woman feel secure when she's showing masculine traits or conducting
What's the
herself
masculine?
masculine.
What's the masculine trait though? Like just her being aggressive,
I would say aggressive because typically
or just like difficult and combative. And what do you mean?
yeah, I use that, just aggressive. I use the word aggressive. Like is there some form of appears to be like a dominance.
I think it's possible. I think it is possible to still make her feel secure. Maybe that the masculine trait is just who she is as a person, right? And I don't think that before you actually got with her in a relationship, I'm pretty sure she was still displaying that. And maybe that could just come out of, she might have been single for a very long time before you. She might have been doing things by herself for a very long time before you. So I think that takes a little bit more time and patience from a man, and more invested time to make her feel secure, but it's not impossible to make her feel secure in a relationship, even though she's displaying masculine traits.
And I
Is
want to
Sherry?
say too, B, with,
Okay.
before Cherry answers, before she answers, I want to say with those masculine traits too, and that's why I get why they were asking you to be a little bit more.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so broad. I think nowadays women are so. I hate the word independent, but I think men that put women in this box where they're almost having to do a lot of the stuff without us, because some men don't step up to the plate to do the stuff that we are supposed to be doing as men. And then when you get with that woman who's had to do everything without you, but you want her to kind of fall in line, that's an unrealistic expectation.
So the only thing I want to push back on you, because first of all, overall I agree. But in my experience, when I get into these type of conversations, is there's men who, if I deal with a different woman, it's like, well, I'm not that woman, and I can't hold that woman to the same, I don't want to say the same standard, but I can't work through my past and my baggage. But then now when a woman comes to a new man, now I'm supposed to take on, well, like that last man was soft, but like, let's say we've been together for that month and I'm not showing you any signs of what that last man did. I'm not saying that you still don't have some things that you have to work through. But if we're talking about it and we're coming to the table and having a mature, grown up conversation and we start exposing those things, I'm just saying acknowledge them and let's reset. Like, again, I'm not saying healing, because healing happens at the time in which that somebody submits themselves unto God and God, and they grow through that. But if I'm creating that environment, then like, let's acknowledge and move in that environment. Stop putting me as, because you made the statement, I understand what you're saying as a whole, but to say like, we as men have put women in bad, us three have it. I know y'all, and I know y'all ain't did that, but in general, I understand it's a broad statement, but I'm saying sometimes keep saying that broad statement creates a different societal like mindset, and it makes it harder than what's necessary. Not saying that women don't have their challenges, and not saying that that's not some of the, way things are. But did anybody have anything else they speak on that topic before we take a short break here?
I agree with all of y'all, especially Haydee. And B.Bond, you made some sense this time, so I'm gonna give you that. But I want to add too is your consistency as well. You as a man, if you want to lead me, I have to be comfortable enough to know that you can take on that task and I'll be comfortable with you doing so. You got to be consistent. I need to see you doing things regularly, meaning if you want me to lead you, you have to, if you want me to allow you to lead me, I need to see you doing manly things, standing on 10 toes on your man shit. Because you don't know what some of these women came from. I got friends that I see that have been holding it down for the longest, single, then they get in a relationship and it don't work out for this reason right here. But you got to understand where she came from and what she had to do, the things that she had to deal with. So if you're not willing to prove yourself, it's all about proving yourself. Women we gotta prove ourselves to y'all as well. It's all about proving yourself and being comfortable, and consistency is the key. It's the key.
I think
Haydee said was correct.
Yeah. Now both of y'all hit on
you preach with that one. Yeah,
both
consistency.
of y'all.
Yeah. Even if you're gonna be a consistent F up, be a consistent F up, because then that person knows what they need to work with then. But I mean, and my fellas know I say this all the time. I was like, man, that's because this person was being nice that day and you went and bought them a bag. You're not even being consistent across the board. So they exhibited bad behavior, using that term lightly. You exhibited bad behavior and didn't do what they need to do for that week, and you still bless them and shower them. So you can't be mad the next week when you're not getting what you're looking for. And then, you're just kind of putting yourself in that situation. You got to be consistent across the board, especially like you said, Sherry, when you're leading. If you're leading, you got to be the most consistent person in the room all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with what y'all said 100%.
I made sense this time. I make sense all the time.
And then before we, you know what I'm saying, take a quick break.
Struck a nerve.
Want to point back out, as you said, it, whatever they saying, being consistent, especially even the things that you say you're going to do. So if you can't do it, you know what I'm saying? Don't be out here promising the world, promising roses, and maybe you just at, a Lily stage in your life. Maybe she might love lilies and that'd be good enough. So don't be over promising and then not showing up. So I agree with that, ladies. I appreciate y'all deep diving in that, not just leaving it on the surface. But with that being said, hey, we got 2 more questions before we wrap it up. I'm gonna go with you, B, since you in your stage of making sense. Let's ask this question for you, bro. Hey man, do you feel, as it's been said, that if a man is leading right, he's making his woman feel secure, then she will submit? But do you feel it's a man's job to make a woman submit?
You had me until that word make. It's not my job to make a woman do anything. I can't make a woman do anything. All I could do is be the man that I'm supposed to be. And if you're supposed to be with me, as Cherry kind of alluded to in the last question, I want to be spicy so bad. I can't do it. I can't do it. No, but if I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing as a man, that sets the stage for the submit to happen. I hate that word, like make. Like, you can't make a woman do anything. A woman's just gonna stay Hispanic or stay Black. They're gonna die, do what they want to do, and you keep it moving. When you start trying to make them do something, that's when you got all that toxic and friction in the relationship. That's just making sense, B.
What about spicy? It's a spicy B answer.
Spicy B,
right?
Spicy B says, if I'm out here doing what the fuck I'm supposed to be doing, I'm bringing this paycheck home. Girl, you better do it. Get in. What? I want some chicken for dinner. What the fuck? That's what Spicy want to say. Like, listen, you got you a 6-figure nigga. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I shouldn't have to say too many things. Period. Pumpkin.
Right. I was gonna say you better throw that in there.
Period, pumpkin. I told
so the answer the same, it's just the delivery different.
The delivery a little different.
A little different. Hey, ladies, do you agree with that? Yeah. Hey, she said delivery is important. True. Ladies, do y'all agree with what B said, or what's your take on it?
I don't like the word submit or make.
Yeah, she took the words out of my mouth.
I don't like neither one of those words.
What's your why don't you like the word submit? Or what's your viewpoint of submit?
Because submit, to me, when I hear submit, it's like you own me. And no nigga own me. I don't like submit. Submit is like you better do it or else. Or I say,
right.
Don't. To me, submitting is speaking at me and not to me. And I don't work well like that. So we're not gonna say submit. We're gonna say I like fall, what we're gonna do together. I like togetherness. Submit is like fall in line. I don't fall in line for no niggas.
Man, it's this.
We
got these East Coast chicks. That's.
But can I tell you something?
Jersey and New York.
I've been with my nigga for 25 years. Okay, so I'm doing something right. Just don't talk at me. I ain't submitting to them. If you say, you know what, let's have such and such for dinner tonight, then you know what, that's what we're gonna have for dinner tonight. But if you tell me you a 6-figure nigga and I better make you some chicken tonight, you must be going to KFC or Popeye.
Yeah.
Listen, maybe I know you kind of been feel a certain way too. What's your thought process? You agree?
Yeah, I think Yash covered it all because I feel exactly the same way. It feels too much like I'm gonna tell you what to do, and let me tell you something. I'm the same way. I have a problem with authority. Like you are not gonna tell me what to do. I do what I want to do, and if I feel like doing that for you, then I'm gonna do it because it comes out of me, not because you're trying to make me do it or because I'm supposed to submit to you. Like no, it's a 50-50 thing. Like sometimes I'll allow you to make the decisions, sometimes allow me to make decisions. Other times we're gonna make them together. Like it's not all about because you a 6-figure nigga, like you always gonna make the decisions and I have to just fall in line. Or like Yash said, meet the consequences. Like what consequences?
Okay.
Because you're about to meet my consequences. Like what we talking about?
But if you're a real nigga, it happens naturally.
Exactly. Everything
it
just
should
flows
happen
naturally. It should. Most times it does when it's, when it's the right people together.
Right.
Like Yasha, look, she's been married for 25 years. That's a blessing. That's rare nowadays to hear somebody together for so long. You know what I'm saying? But look at
Niggas
her
is too toxic
viewpoint on
nowadays
like
for that.
It's
look
not
at her
and that's
viewpoint.
another-
Like
it's not toxic. If you keep picking the same person, you got to look at yourself. If you keep picking the same type of woman or man, you need to think outside the box. Outside the box. Go back to the ground zero. Look at yourself. Like, okay, why I keep attracting this type of person? If you keep finding the wrong people at the bar, take your ass to Fridays, Applebee's, the food stores. Walk down ShopRite. Your wife
shit,
might
go to Cheers. Like it's true.
What's your thoughts on it?
No, actually, I appreciate Haydee's word saying, "No, I have a problem with authority," because that's real. Like most people, when you look at the word like submission, and y'all know I like the Merriam-Webster's dictionary, it's essentially one of the ones that don't sound as bad, like making, is yielding to authority. And I mean, a lot of us do that in our workplace. I mean, we do that where we are, and like in Nupi world, we talk about showing deference as essentially somebody that was before you or has more authority in that situation. And, I would turn the tables a little bit, even though biblically speaking, the woman should submit, but it also says that men should submit to the woman too. And there's a time and a place where someone does have more authority in the situation or more knowledge in the situation. Because if I'm talking to my old lady and she's talking about something, dealing with like a female, she has more knowledge in that. That's not the time for me to be like, I'm the man and, you're going to submit and do what I think in that situation. I'm yielding to your authority in this situation, or in other words, knowledge. But I think that's fair because, I mean, people can identify and say like, nah, I don't roll that way. We can come to a mutual understanding in some form or fashion or different definition is almost the same thing. But what you also said is it depends on that relationship and that dynamic. And there's a lot of people paired together that shouldn't be paired together, and they fight in it. And then they mad because somebody's not submitted or somebody's not making them feel secure. Y'all shouldn't be together anyway.
I wanted you to get your. Go ahead, B.
But y'all ain't never been with that person that it's just so great, other than the toxicity that y'all. I mean, when y'all make, it's just that avant girl when we make. It just be so
he
good.
want to be toxic so bad. He just want to be toxic so bad.
Yeah.
What are you saying, B? When the sex is so good that you just can't?
Yeah, like you just can't. Like in Juice's word, chuck the deuce. It's just like everything in our relationship works great except for this one little corner pocket of our relationship. You get what I'm saying? Like everything good except for when I ask you to do something or you think I'm trying to get you to make you do something. But in my way, I could just be asking you, but you just take it that way.
It's not what you say, how you say it, and you got to do the work. If everything is good in your relationship, but that one thing, you're willing to throw it all away for that one thing without putting the work in, that's the problem now. Relationships is not working out because nobody want to do the work. It's okay, next, because it's another nigga out here and he look better and he this and he that. But then you get with a nigga that look better and he this and he that. And he worse than nigga that you just like.
I agree. Hey, you said one thing. I've always said that many people show up for the wedding because that's the glitz and glamour, but people don't show up for marriage. Marriage is everything after the wedding or after you say I do. And I agree with that 100%. And the reason I use the word make in this question, I use it specifically because in a relationship, people grown. They're going to do what they're going to do. So you can't make anybody do something. But, as I said earlier, you create that environment. And I think sometimes we do get a little caught up in the word submit. And Cherry, I'm going to speak to something you said when you said, don't talk at me. And I do believe that's normally what's associated with that word submit. Whereas Juicer said, where he was just like, hey, there's some things my wife, she do event, planning, and she's, decoring. And when she's doing stuff, she tells me, she's like, B, I need you to go do this. I submit to that directive because at the end of the day, that's not my expertise. Now we could say again, and that's where I kind of want to take the sting out of that word submit, because again, naturally, technically, I'm submitting to it. But as you said, Cherry, and I agree with even looking at it from that point of view, is I'm working together with her. And I heard, I can't even think of his name, but he was on a Breakfast Club with Nene, whatever, at least it's like Stonewall. I think he's right, but he was saying that the way a man submits to his woman is how he loves her. Because there's a lot of things he'll sit at the table and she'll say, well, I want to do this, this, and this. And he'd be like, okay, we can do that. But that's, again, working together, following that lead. And I thought that was like the best way I heard it said, because technically we all submit to each other. But in that submission is like a working relation. That's my thought process on it, more than anything. And I think everybody kind of, in a sense, articulating at some level. But I agree, some people just have an issue with authority, even if the person's doing everything right. And it's that environment, they just like, nah, I gotta run this way. I'm not saying that's what you were saying, Haydee, but there are some people who just hear you say something to me and I don't want to hear it at all, even if you're doing everything right. So I'm just like, you can't make nobody do nothing. So do you look like you had something you want to say, bro?
I'm just saying, you made it real hard for me to be my toxic self this episode. I'm actually having to act like I got some sense today. I appreciate that.
I mean, these women coming
toxic and spicy.
These ladies, I guess, coming with it, man. They covering the whole thing. So it's not me, it's them. They giving it to it the way it needs to be. So you can't get your pushback on some of the things.
Cool.
Be scared of us, Haydee. That's what that is.
You said what?
Be scared of me and Haydee.
Never. Listen, I don't watch y'all show enough. There's been some times y'all done had some guests, right? And I'd be like, oh, I want, can I hit the button? I was like, they don't know me like that though. I might be done piss somebody off. Like, don't put me in that category. Because I make some sense when I just say shit too.
You said spicy. So, hey, but move forward with this. Hey, and this is our last question as we wrap it up. I'm going to switch up a little bit because I was going to use the word submitting, but out of respect to the women who don't like the word submitting, I'm going to say, what role could we get caught up in you want me to be a 1950s lady? And I do acknowledge that just the role of women in general has changed, and the role of men has changed. So with that being said, how do women display working together with their significant other? So the original question was submitting, but I'm going to say working together with their significant other these days. Because and the reason I asked this question, and I'll let you go, is because I think a lot of the times women say they're working with you, but it looks different than what it used to. So what does it look like now?
What did it look like before?
Based off of society, it was, I'm that six figure, you do what I say. So you more so, it's to the more traditional submitting. That's why I think now, that's what it looked like before.
So before it was the woman stay home all day and care for the house and the kids. And the man went out and got the six figures and brought it back home. So that submission was different than nowadays, because nowadays we the bosses. We getting money too. And 9 times out of 10, we getting more money than you. So we're not staying home, taking care of the house. Well, we doing all of that and getting the money. We taking care of these kids. We make sure they get into school. We doing homework. We cook. We doing everything the woman in the 50s was doing. But on top of that, we out getting it too. We can drive. Back then, women couldn't drive. You had to wait for your man to do this. No, now I'm pushing my own shit. I have multiple credit cards as well. back then we couldn't have much. So with the time changing, I feel like some relationship dynamics change, but it's all for the same purpose, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
For
the greater good.
I think
we still a team and we still building together. But back then it was you was doing it. Now we doing it. Sometimes it's I'm doing it. Because I done seen some situations where the woman make the most money or whatever the case may be, and the man is the stay-at-home dad. So with the time changing, so did these roles.
Right.
So no, I ain't submitting.
Okay. Okay. So with that being said, now I'm gonna go around. I'm gonna get everybody's opinion because there's something you said that I just have a question. And overall, I agree with everything you're saying in theory. I just have one question, but Juice, what's how you feel about it, or what's your thoughts on it?
Nah, so for the most part, I agree with everything you said because I think it still gets to the point of like working together based off of the roles that that person has. And if that person is making the bread and the dude at home for whatever reason, because I'm in the military and there's a lot of male spouses as well too. So they're around the world and this dude can't go work, but he doing whatever he need to do at the crib. They have that relationship where it works for them. And sometimes you're in the same room, and even though we know she's making the bread and she's a career woman, she still shows a level of deference to her husband at that time. But I think that's just that mutual respect in that piece. So I do think the rules have changed, and I do think it looks different. And kind of without reiterating what I said earlier, everybody's submitting in some form of fashion. And it really does come down to the level of respect you have for that person. And for dudes and women out there, men and women out there, if you're not getting that level of respect, you feel like somebody's submitting, then, last time I'm gonna say it, just bounce.
Haydee, what's your thoughts on it?
I agree with the both of them. Like Yosh said, the traditional women back in the 50s, 40s, and 50s, we had to rely on our husbands. We weren't working, we were home cooking, cleaning, taking care of the kids. There was no compromise. It was more of like, you just do what the man says. Nowadays, the modern women were cooking, like Yosh said, we're cooking, we're cleaning, we're taking care of the kids, home, working, making more money than the men, So now there's more of a compromise. Now it's not, I don't have to always listen to what you say or what you want to do. Now it's 50-50. Now, there are times where I'm going to make the decisions for the family, and there are times when you're going to have to make the decisions for the family. It's not everything that you say goes. There's going to be times when what I say is going to go and what you say goes. And we both have to, we both have to feel comfortable and secure in the relationship to be able to trust one another and be on that level and understand the decisions that I'm making is going to benefit us as a couple and as a family. And the decisions that you make is going to benefit us together and the family as well. So, that's the difference.
B.
Don't smile when you say my name. You think
I have to laugh because I don't know if it's spicy B, educational B. I'm just trying to see.
B wear a lot of hats. I'm gonna go therapeutic B.
Okay.
And this is what therapy would say, because I also have a psychology degree, ladies. I ain't tried to mind fuck you yet, but we could do that.
You can't mind fuck a mind fucker.
They don't know B.Bond. Here's what I would say. This is why relationships don't work today, right? Because most men, let's look at millennial men, who saw their fathers, if they were in a 2-parent household or whatever the case would be, saw their fathers treat their mothers some kind of way, probably that 50s, 60s, 70s, where moms didn't leave. They kind of just stuck it out, did what they had to do. So now they look at those relationships as successful relationships, right? Because their mama didn't leave. They did what they had to do. They expect that out of the woman today, right?
Great.
That ain't going to work for today. It's just not going to work. So then therefore, that relationship's not going to work. And that man's going to keep bouncing from woman to woman until he finds that woman that's going to be what his mama was. Right?
Mm.
Therapy says this. There has to be, as Yosh said, and as Haydee said, there has to be some sort of 50-50. I look at it as when I give advice to my homies or whatever, what's your 3 things that you need out of this relationship? Communicate that to your lady. Then ask her what's the 3 things that she has to have in this relationship. Y'all make sure y'all are always communicating those 3 things. And then at some point you add a 4th, some point you add a 5th, and you just keep building on top of those building blocks. And then when you finally get to a full circle or whatever it is, your house, you done built that house. Now, both y'all have been working. We've been working together. We done communicated. We done figured this out together. We got a match. And Therapeutic B says that's what it takes to make a relationship work, man. You can't just walk into a relationship and expect your woman to just do it because you said do it. It don't work like that, man. And that's the problem.
Even if you 6-figure?
Even if you a 6-figure nigga.
Nah. And you said that, and I like saying overall, I agree with it. I just say now these days, the one thing that I'll caution, because I said this in our last episode, Pillow Talk, say women though. Women been doing it for, a long time. And there's, again, the society thought process is that every man was doing what we said. Men was cheating on their wife, doing that. No, there was some really good stand-up guys back then. I will agree and say that I feel like on average, above average, women did take a lot of unnecessary things. That's when we reference the 1940s, 50s. But sometimes being a really good man is a thankless job. You come in and you hear the things where it'd be like, you happy because you put the lights on? You know what I'm saying? You kept the lights on. You happy because you did this? You happy because you put your kids in a certain school? Like, that's what you're supposed to be doing. And the reason I say I caution that, with women sometimes is realize that when you step into that role, and as everybody acknowledged, and I agree 100%, like there are stay-at-home dads now. And there are those, women out there getting it. But if you're in, let's just say, the breadwinner position, and you are doing those things, you also have to be mindful that you might not get the thank yous that you would have gotten before. You may not get some of that stuff. And I caution with people, I agree with you, women out there bossing up, doing those things. But me personally, I feel like men, we still need women, and whatever that looks like, and women still need men, or whatever you want, you still need that companionship is necessary. As human beings, companionship is necessary. So I just say a lot of the times we start using words like, I don't need you. And that starts to belittle and minimize the importance of that significant other in those relationships. But, my last thing wrapping up for what I have to say is that I echo everything that everybody said. And that's why I really do appreciate everybody articulating more in depth and just saying, I got money, I don't need you. No, we're saying, no, it's a working together type thing. And I think that has to be appreciated in regards to making, your woman feel secure and just having a healthy relationship as a whole. So as we wrap this up, I'm going to ask one last question, just yes or no. We're not going to dive into it. And then we'll get around, see if there's any save rounds, and then we'll wrap this show up. Question. I'm going to start with Haydee Baby. Please say the baby is it a woman's job to make her man feel secure?
No.
Miss Cherry?
Nope.
B.Bond?
Yes.
Jukester?
Yes.
Yes. Women say no, men say yes. I'm not tired of breaking it. We might have to do a show about it, So, hey, before we get around any save rounds, I'll go, Miss Cherry. Appreciate you. Anything you want to leave out there to our viewers?
I'm glad y'all had me on today. Thanks for having me on. I had a good time. Like I said at the top of the show, you can find me at Wine Time on Instagram. I drop every Wednesday on all streaming platforms, and I'm getting back to my live. Be patient with me.
Miss Haydee?
Thank you guys for inviting me on. This was fun. This was cool. We definitely have to do it again. Mondays, Ladies Pitch, brand new episodes. There'll be more visuals coming out soon. You can find us on all streaming platforms. Ladies Pitch on Instagram, Ladies Pitch on YouTube, Pitch 718 on Twitter. Yeah, just tune in. Thank you guys for having me. Yosh. Pleasure as always.
Always.
Definitely. Juicer.
It was good parlaying with y'all. My mic on? Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
It wasn't going yellow, but it was good parlaying with y'all. Having y'all on the fellas and everything. So we definitely stay tuned in to what y'all working. All the viewers, appreciate you as usual. Check out the show. Check out the previous ones. I know the producer's gonna hit that in the end. Fellas, good partaking with you as well, and we can keep on getting it. Y'all be blessed out here. Hey, happy Black History Month.
Hey, I'm gonna say that. Actually, I'm gonna let B.Bond, our president, be the last say. Again, ladies, I can't say thank you enough. I really appreciate the energy you brought. Really appreciate, you know what I'm saying, you articulated things and not just leaving them at the surface, which is what we wanted to do in this show. Hey, be great. And as I think everybody said, you take nothing else, work with your significant other or whatever relationship you're in. Hey, again, happy Black History Month, even though a lot of people don't subscribe to it. If you do anything, at least educate yourself on one thing. And with that being said, I'm gonna kick it to B, and we're gonna wrap this up.
All right. With that being said, man, follow the Unacceptable Behavior Network. We got the Vibe Queens dropping next. The fellas will be coming back, and then we have our group UBN show, Unacceptable Behavior Network, on Instagram, YouTube. I think on Twitter. No, it's just me on Twitter being my toxic self. I didn't want to put y'all on there. And then we also got the fellas on TikTok. So make sure y'all check us out. With that being said, ladies, thank you. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Haydee, I will see you in Maryland later in February. Yosh, I ain't never been to Jersey. Might have to make my way up there too. You know what I mean?
Hey, before you say the final, I just want to shout out to all the Pisces. I think it's 22nd, 24th, 26th. You know,
Happy birthday, y'all.
hey, it's a great month.
Yeah, y'all. How you say it, Haydee? Oh, y'all a water sign like me, my fellow.
Yeah, we're compatible.
Yes.
I don't know about
Geminis,
you over
but
there.
It's okay,
But
B.Bond.
Geminis run the world though.
No.
Right.
Anyway, so
I knew
Yeah.
you. I should have known you was a Gemini. I should have known.
With that being said, I definitely appreciate y'all, and we'll see you